guess this is it. Simple cam screen, maybe. I'm sorry. I wanna. I well, that's. I think this is the best I can do right now. It's kind of, yeah, it's kind of the best I can do right now, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave that there. Okay. Let me actually. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. All right, my. Road. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and. Gonna give it a minute. I don't really have a better face cam screen, so I think I'm gonna just stick with this for now. I'll literally give it about a minute to go ahead and you know, start this little chat I wanted to do. I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I had a really good, well, I am having a good Sunday so far. And I hope anyone that comes by is having a good Sunday also as well. In the meantime, let me go ahead and close out some of these applications. I got about 30 seconds before I go ahead and get into this. See, a Knox Assistant. I've got a couple applications that are unnecessary running in my background. Oh, there's a new driver for my video card. Oh, it's been weighing heavy on the mind. And now that the wife is actually not in the house right now, she's over at the store, I do want to go ahead and kind of knock this out. I want to be able to be comfortable speaking, and I don't want to mince words. I want to keep it family friendly. I want to keep it appropriate, but I do want to talk about a couple of serious things. Let's see, first of all, I kind of went over in my head how I was going to go about this, but let's see. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, if you're somebody that has never seen me before, or you just don't know me and you just know me as my handle, which is Avatar619, if you solely know me as that, I am active duty military. I have approximately 1 year until I retire. And I had a skeleton in my closet, right? Well, it's not really a skeleton. It's just a vice that I got rid of. And I'm very, very proud of it. You know, as most people in the military might tell you, they watch pornography. And I'm very fortunate to have been empowered, you know, by God to get rid of it cold turkey. It was, you know, something that was very normal for military life, and it's corrupted my mind for the worse. You know, I will have to struggle with that for the rest of my life because of the damage it has done to my brain. Now, what I mean by that is if you've heard anybody talk about, the effects that pornography has on you, it is very destructive. It really skews your view and your mindset when it comes to being intimate with a member of the opposite sex, or if you're so inclined of the same sex or whatever it is. It's just, it skews your mind and what you expect and things like that. So I stopped it. There was a point in time, approximately almost 5 years ago now, almost 5 years, I made up my mind. I said, this is it. I will no longer look at this. And, I asked God to take that away. I asked him to take away my desire to indulge in that stuff. And he's faithful. God is faithful. He has empowered me to resist that kind of thing very effectively. When I say cold turkey, I say cold turkey. It's absolutely gone. I do not watch pornography anymore. I'm very, very proud of this fact. I've been completely without watching any of that stuff for more than 4 years, just about 5 now. And that's, this is something I bring up in order to lead into what what I'm going to talk about. Let's see if anybody's engaged here. My post has been out for 5 minutes, so hopefully some more people come on so I can have it kind of alive. But okay, so I talk about that to lead into a couple other things. I believe, and I am very certain, because of things that have been revealed to me and things that have come to pass, I am very certain that God speaks to me through dreams. I'm most sensitive, if you will, at night, or I don't know exactly. I can't explain to you how these things happen. It's just I get messages in dreams, and then I get realizations, or the Holy Spirit comes down on me later and he reveals to me the nature of the dream, or I just have a dream that seems kind of normal, and later on it's revealed to me that it was a future thing that I was going to look at. And I'll give you guys one example. When I was in the 82nd, I was the rear D NCOIC for I was the rear D NCOIC for Red Falcons in the 82nd, and I was in charge of. First of all, I was the S3 platoon sergeant, which means I was in charge of the S3 shop, which is approximately like 15 people in that shop, and I became the battalion command sergeant major. I became the ops sergeant major, and I was the Charlie company property holder for one of the companies. So I was an extremely busy person. It was not fun in the slightest. If I had to tell you what it was like to be the rear detachment NCOIC for essentially a company of approximately 100 people that were left behind there at Fort Bragg, I would tell you not to do it. I would tell you to get on that deployment any way, shape, or form, any way you can. Go deploy and go do it. I would not recommend being a rear D NCOIC to anybody, and I would describe that time period as the worst 9 months of my entire life. I was the most stressed out. Now I would never say that I was on, the verge of killing myself at any point in time. Never. I was never at that point, but I was just so stressed out the entire time, every single day. I'd go into work with a scowl on my face, and people were just like, oh, don't mess with Soren Groves today. He's got that look, you know, and it was just absolutely, it was just not a fun time. I do not recommend it one bit. So if anybody ever has that chance, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. So the thing I want to bring up, the example I want to bring up is I was over at, I had a dream years before. I had a dream that I was doing whatever. I was walking around a cage area and I was looking at what looked to be in the dream rainbow paper. It was rainbow paper. So someone showed me this rainbow paper and I was like, wow, there's a lot of colors. There's like, you have like a color, every color of the rainbow on this paper. What's going on here? Like, it looked like if I had printed it out, it was just straight bars of different colors, right? For me, it was rainbow paper in the dream. And now years later, when I mentioned that I was on the rear detachment, I was doing a property changeover because they were coming back. They wanted to make sure that all the property was straight so I can sign it over and pass that off and no longer be responsible for the rear detachment property. And the lieutenant I was working with, the XO I was working with in order to get all of that done, he had a highlighter for every single day that he checked something off. And one time he came up to me and he was in, this was like the 7th or 8th day straight of staying until like 10, 11, almost midnight, trying to do this property. And he comes over and he checks something with me and, you know, he hands me his papers and all of the paper was just filled with highlights of all different colors. You had the yellow, you had the green, you had the blue, you had the red, you had the pink, you had it's all kinds of different highlighters. And I made the comment, wow, this looks like a freaking rainbow paper. And then I looked up and then I looked around and I was like, I'm in the supply cage area and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I kind of kept it to myself, but I was just like, oh, wow, I had this dream like years and years ago. It seems like a small thing, but you know, I have these things that are told to me through dreams. So so how do I move on from this? How do I bring all this into what I actually want to talk about and what I actually want to share? The reason that I do this stream today and to talk about this particular item today is that I have a how do I call it? A flaw that I've been asking God to help me get rid of. I've been asking God constantly, every single night. I ask him, please take this away from me. I don't want it anymore. I do not want to have to deal with this, you know. And I trust the Lord, but for some reason I just cannot get rid of this flaw that I've got. And, you know, no matter how hard I try, it's such a stronghold in my psyche, in my body, in my whatever, that, you know, it just, no matter how hard I try, I feel like it's just got its claws in so deep that I cannot get rid of it on my own. And I've asked God to strengthen me in order for me to have the strength to let it go. And I had a dream last night, and it just makes so much sense. It's such a, like, I could not have come up with this timing. I could not in a million years. So the dream is, imagine, okay, how about I do this, right? You imagine yourself in a room. It's a dark room, and then it becomes well lit over time. Like, it's kind of like fading lights that kind of go up. And there's a hole in the wall that has a table that you can lay on. And you can lay on this table and you can, you know, kind of go between the two rooms, but you're not allowed to actually see into the other room, okay? So the dream is, you know, I'm in this room and I'm laying on this table. I'm already on this table. I don't have a choice. I've already been laid on this table. And my head is on one side. My head is on one side of the wall, So if I describe this using my own camera, my head is on one side of the wall and my body is on the other side on this table. And so my head can only see what is going on in this side of the room. Okay, and in comes a woman. And you know, if I was going to describe her to you, it would be just the most attractive person you could ever think of, and you know, dressed in a way that is extremely scandalous. Okay, like a woman of the night, you know what I mean? So, you know, it kind of turns you on, and you know, all that jazz. And I'm on this table, and you know, I can only see her. I don't see anything what's going on in this other room that my body is laying in. And this woman is there, and she's, you know, extremely hot or whatever, you know, whatever. So I don't have a face. I don't have a body shape or anything. It's just, you know, to me, I perceive this person as extremely attractive, and you know, you have the urges that are associated with male testosterone, right? So, but what happens in this dream is I'm, you know, looking at my head, my face is looking in this room, I'm looking around, and then I have an out of body experience, and it kind of goes to the sideways view of the wall. Like, you know how in a movie, like they'll show a room and then they'll kind of pan out, and then you can see the wall, and then you can see what's going on both sides of the wall at the same time. So I'm at this perspective now. Now my body is laying there in that position that I described, but my vision is now at this perspective where I can see on both sides of the wall. And I see my body doing whatever. So this girl on this one side is dancing and, you know, doing provocative movements to get me to have a reaction. And on this side now, I can see what's going to be happening with my body. Now, I see a person dressed in an apron, a man dressed in an apron with a very dark face, a very dark hood, if you will. Like if you imagine Hostel and the dude with the apron in that particular movie, this is essentially the representation that I am seeing of this person. And he's got pliers, he's got, you know, he's got his whole table of instruments. And as the woman on my head side is dancing and doing her thing, this person, this dark figure in the apron, this hostile looking figure, starts ripping out my toenails. And I feel this in my body, you know, because my perception is at this wall angle, but my body feels what's going on there. So at one point you have a sexual turn on kind of thing going on, but at the same time, it's this guy, this figure is ripping out my toenails. And shortly after, I wake up. But right before I wake up, I have the very clear sense. There's a, you know, because in dreams you have extrasensory type of things. I have a sense this guy is not done with just the toenails. He's going to move on to the rest of my feet. And when he's done with my feet, sorry, hold on. He's not done when he's done there. He's going to move up my legs. He's going to move to my hips. He's going to break my ankles. He's going to break my kneecaps. He's going to break the tendons that are holding my knees. He's going to rip my femoral, or not my femoral, my femur out of the hip socket. And then he's going to destroy my hip bone. And so on and so forth. until I'm destroyed. Okay. And I wake up and, you know, my wife is there laying in the bed next to me. She's watching her phone, you know, while I'm over here trapped in a bad dream. And I wake up and I'm like, oh my God. Let me pull you close. Let me hug you, you know. Sorry, hold on. I want to get through this, but the emotion I felt is coming back. So, all right. And so I told my wife, oh, I had a bad dream. And, you know, I lay there for a minute or two, you know, hugging her tightly while she's watching her phone. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I just can't figure it out. I can't figure out what this bad dream is all about, right? So we get ready, we go to church, and you know, our pastor is preaching up a storm. He's an amazing pastor. Pastor Brian is a great pastor. We absolutely love this church. So anyway, he's going through his thing. He's doing his thing. All of a sudden, a wave of understanding comes over me, and it's revealed to me what this is. It's not just a bad dream. This is a warning for me. If I do not get rid of this flaw, if I do not commit myself fully to minimize this, to number one, repent for it, and to number two, to ask God to help me suppress and get rid of this flaw. If I don't do it, if I continue to do what I do with this flaw, I'm going to experience destruction, bodily destruction. The significance of my head being exposed is that I am blinded to what is going on in my body, or what will happen to my body once I die, and, you know, time of judgment comes. The destruction that I'm bringing upon myself is something that I cannot see. I can only see what's in front of me and what the actual flaw is, but I am blind to what is actually happening to my body. Now, let me let me close with this part of it by saying that it is a curse that I have been carrying this for so long. It's an absolute curse, and I feel like it is, and let me tell you why. I conceived Azrael with Johanna very easily. Essentially, it was a one-shot. It was a one-shot. My very first time, not my very first time, but the first time we tried, that was it. It was done. Azrael was conceived. First time, go, right? Like, it was amazing. It was just like, wow, I'm going to have a kid, you know? So when I was in Afghanistan, you know, Johanna made the decision to go ahead and stop her birth control. I went home on R&R and, you know, got the thing. I mean, it's R&R, right? So, and bam, that was it. You know, I came home to my wife 5 months pregnant, and I got to experience that with her, and so on and so forth. You know, we have Azrael now. It's, you know, it's such a huge blessing. I cannot, you know, tell you how ecstatic I was. But now here we are. My daughter's 11. I made the decision. I told Johanna, I said, when Azrael turned 2 years old, I told Johanna, I am ready mentally to be a father again. We can go ahead and start trying. So from age 2, from Azrael age 2, she is now 11. we have not been able to conceive since she was 2 years old, and she's now 11. And the significance of me having this dream on Father's Day is not lost on me. This thing needs to go. And I now have my answer. I've been looking for answers. I've been asking for strength. I've been asking for help, and I got it. It's not the way I imagined it one bit, but I got it. I got my message, and it's clear. And I'm going to take care of that today. It's going away today. So I like to think that I know things about spiritual warfare. I do think I know a few things about spiritual warfare, but you need to guard yourself. You need to guard yourself. You need to guard your heart at every single turn. You need to ferociously defend yourself against the enemy and all of his minions. And so I pray that anybody listening to me today or listening to this video after the fact can take my example and take courage and take strength from me and my example. And I'm definitely gonna go and take care of this right after I'm done recording this. Right after this stream is over, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go get rid of it. I'm gonna get rid of this flaw. And I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray that God gives me the strength to keep it at bay, to step on the neck of this enemy, and to give me the victory. In fact, I need to take that back. God has already given me the victory, and I just need to claim it. Okay. Now I've said it. Now I need to go do it. Keep in mind that well said these days is a lot more prevalent than well done. And I pray that when my time comes that I can get that. That's all I want to hear is well done. Good and faithful servant, well done. I'm sorry for not keeping my composure, but I kind of have to let it go, right? Well, this is it. I want to go ahead and thank anybody that is watching. If you have watched this after the fact, I thank you for watching it and for taking time out of your day. We're at 29 minutes now. I want to keep it under 30. I want to stop it at 30, but again, thank you very much. I hope everybody has a great Father's Day and a great rest of your life. And again, if you need assistance with spiritual warfare, I hope I can, help you out in some way, shape, or form. You all have a blessed Sunday.